Hi there again everyone, Josie here, Life at 50 and Beyond. Thanks for joining me here on my channel where you will find mostly affordable, practical, and easy DIYs. For this DIY, I'll be using the seasonal signs that they sell at Dollar Tree. They're available again at this time in fall theme. And they are also available during winter season with the winter themes. I purchased them in bulk last season because I like using them on my project because I like making organizers with them. Now I'm showing you here that just using my thumbs, I was able to take off this piece here at the back that you will use if you want to hang this on the wall, but I don't need them. As I have done with my previous projects, I have removed them so that I can use this hollow part or the back part as organization compartments, and I will link it in the upper right hand corner as well as in the description box below the video where I created several organizers using these signs. Now today I'm also going to show you how I'm going to be using this to create a small space organizer. But first I want to show you a hack here. I'm using these two pieces that I have removed earlier and just using them as feet so that I can actually display one of the signs a little elevated than the one on the front. You can attach them or connect them using a wood glue like this Gorilla wood glue that I like a lot, or you can also use hot glue gun. Now in this project I will be using just my hot glue gun because I would like to be able to dismantle if in case I make any mistakes. So for this project here, I'm just going to show you that I am going to be using all materials from Dollar Tree, like these two boxes here, these wooden boxes that I have positioned in a vertical manner. I'm just going to be using this to reinforce and kind of hold my projects together. Here I'm just testing it out. But this can be your first DIY, actually, the way I'm setting it up right now. So for a total of $6, you can use 4 of the seasonal signs as well as those 2 shallow boxes that they sell also at Dollar Tree. Connect them together with hot glue or Gorilla wood glue together. So for this one, this is the main project that I'm going to be making. As you can see here, this is also easy to kind of rip apart because the signs themselves on their own, they can only fit probably a diameter of about 1 inch diameter, and if you want to fit something wider or bigger, you would need it to be bigger. So that's why I kind of removed the glue or removed it from its original position, kind of like unfold one of the sides this way to open it up. So these are 2 signs, and as you can see, I can create a wider or bigger space or shelf. Now since I wanted to fit inside this box, this wooden box that they also sell at Dollar Tree, and the inside of it is a lot wider than when I kind of expand those 2 together like so, it's not gonna fit, it's gonna be too big. So I would need to remove one of this flap here using either an X-Acto knife or a utility knife or a sharp pair of scissors like this one. I just using my Dollar Tree scissors and I'm just cutting it that way. Now I've realized that I probably would need to cut the other one as well because again, it will be too wide if I just connect them that way. Now if I use it as this, I could probably use it as this and then leave some space or gap on the sides, on each side, but I want this to fit snugly. So I'm going to be using the piece that I cut and then probably adjust it to the width that will fit inside the wooden box. It's like I said, as is, it's going to be a little loose. There's going to be a gap on each side or maybe a gap in the middle, but I want to use that piece there to kind of fill in the gaps like so, and reinforce also. It makes it a more finished project altogether. So what I'm going to do here is I am just going to be testing it out to size, and then I am just going to connect them. So I have decided to change this with the one with the star sign. It's because I think that, I mean, actually it doesn't really matter, but in this instance, I just decided to switch it with this one with a shape of the star as an opening, and then I'm just going to be using the other one for later on. So as you can see, to fill in that gap, I'm able to also take advantage of the piece that I have removed, one of the pieces. And then I'm just, again, like I said, testing it to size. Like so. So this is going to be my bottom layer or my bottom shelf. Again, because I want it to be wider. So that's the reason why I had to remove or expand my shelf. I'm going to be using them as my shelf. So this one would be my first year, and I am just going to be connecting them together. Using the hot glue gun, I am just going to be connecting this strip first. So I decided to do that first before I attach the other two signs to connect them together. So that looks right, but then I noticed that if I am just going to be connecting this, it's not going to be even. It's not going to be level because the middle part is raised and then the ends aren't. So what I'm going to do is, using the other piece that I cut earlier from one of the signs, I am going to cut 4 pieces to fit one on each side. So now, I mean, you can use any cutter that you may have. I'm just showing you here that, I also have this tool here that I can use to cut wood. But feel free to use a sharp X-Acto or utility knife or scissors. So the 4 pieces that I cut, I am just hot gluing onto the bottom part where I am going to glue my signs. So I'm using the same technique or the ones that I cut on the opposite end, making sure that I have the same support there so that it will all be leveled, because without doing that, it's going to be a little kind of uneven. So here, as I am showing you here, I am going to be connecting this. If you notice, okay, like I said, I am using hot glue so I can dismantle this quicker. I actually made a mistake of creating the bridge already and then connecting it, and then I couldn't fit the 2 signs. So if you notice, there's a rip there or leftover remnant from the other bottom. I just didn't show it on film. But here I am just gluing the portions that's going to connect to the bottom and the sides and the top, like so. So be generous with your hot glue if you're going to use hot glue, and then allow it to kind of cure. It's going to take only a few seconds because it's hot glue. It dries up fast, and that's what's good about creating these types of project. It is really going to give you a quick outcome rather than waiting for E6000 or Gorilla Wood Glue to cure, because sometimes it takes several hours to do that. While with hot glue, you can actually accomplish it quickly. Now to demonstrate, as you can see, I can fit these 2 8 fluid ounces of bottles with enough room to fit more. If I didn't make it wider, it will not fit there. You can only fit the 2 fluid ounces bottles of Mod Podge, but not the 8 fluid ounces that I have shown here. Now for the second tier, because I'm gonna make this like a multi-level or multi-tier organizer, So I know that some of you have asked why I don't pre-paint my projects before I hot glue them. Simply because it's easier for me to do it that way. So whatever's easier for you, please do so. Now I've just opted to paint right now, pre-paint, because I've noticed that there's a gap in between on the second tier, and I want to make sure that I am able to paint that portion that will be showing in the gaps. But then since I'm already painting it, I am just painting the other parts of the signs, but I'm making sure, if you notice, I left at least an inch or an inch and a half unpainted materials so that I can just use my hot glue without worrying that they're gonna dismantle. I've had issues in the past where I have hot glued over the paint even though after drying and it wouldn't hold. I am just gluing the portions that are unpainted and then connecting them to the unfinished box like so. So as you can see, the reason for me pre-painting is the gap at the center of this project, and if I will connect and then paint it later on, it'll be harder. So do what is easiest for you, like I'm doing what is easiest for me. So I'm doing it on the opposite side as well, just hot gluing the portions that are not painted and then connecting it to that box on the opposite end. And then I will finish up painting everything later on, including the support. So here I'm just going to show you that I am painting the bottom tier or shelf, the one that I have expanded earlier, the first one that I connected. So I'm just painting the inside or the inner part as well as the edges. And then I'm also going to be painting those two boxes that I positioned vertically as the support. Now I have decided, since I like the gingham or kind of like a buffalo check style at the bottom, I will be leaving that, you know, the red and white gingham style. Now I'm finishing up the painting of the other shelf, but I'm pointing also that I am leaving those portions that I am going to be hot gluing or applying glue, so that I will not have the same problem as if I am going to be connecting them after I paint them. So those are the portions that you have to leave unpainted if you are going to be connecting with glue. So I am painting the bottom portion of this project, but you don't really have to do a complete kind of double coat on this because it's not really gonna show up unless of course the person would go under the shelf. Then I'm applying hot glue to those portions where I'm gonna be connecting. Now I just want to give you a forewarning here. Not all that you buy, whether Dollar Tree or anywhere, even though they're similar boxes, they're all not created equal. And I will show you. It's very, very minor, but you will see that they don't really align well. I mean, I have had projects that they align perfectly, but this one I noticed that they don't align perfectly. But that's fine because, you know, it's homemade, it's handmade, handcrafted by me. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. So yeah, so that's why I'm telling you now, full disclosure, you may see some uneven portions there where they connect. It's because they don't necessarily match or align. Now here, there's a bigger gap at the top, so I'm okay to paint the portions there, although I pre-painted them also and left the bottom without paint because that's the one that's connecting to the unfinished top of the support box. And now I'm just finishing off the inner parts and those parts that are going to be showing up like so. Now, if you want to expand those shelves, feel free to do so, but I am going to use them to hold things that are small enough to fit inside each compartment. And if you've been following me here in my channel, you've probably seen some of those projects. Like I said, I'm going to be linking them in the description box below, as well as in the upper right hand corner. So I think this one is okay. I'm just going to let it dry for a bit, and then I am just going to set it up. Since this is more like a farmhouse style project, the gingham would work. And I think this one would work anywhere, even in tight or small spaces. So let's set this up now. I'm going to be showing you how I am going to set this up as a craft organizer. So these are the Mod Podge bottles again, the 8 fluid ounces. And then I will be putting other items next to it, like for example my colored pens and even my pair of scissors. Now I originally was trying to organize my paint brushes at the middle tier, but I decided to just put them on the top and then line up all my paints, my bottled paint, on the middle tier. And as you can see here, you could probably fit, depending on the size, these are the Arteza paint bottles, and I can fit 8 pieces or 8 bottles in each of the compartments. So this one would work also if you want to organize your nail polishes. I can see this for someone who loves to collect also those essential oils. I've seen an essential oil project here back in December, and I'm going to be inserting that DIY also in the description box below. But I'm just going to show you that because I expanded the bottom shelf, I can fit the bigger containers or items. And then on the upper ones, I can have it hold these paint brushes, but I will show you also, as a crafter, I love using washies. So I am also going to be setting up the top portion. I'm just going to show you that you can fit in the washi tapes as well. So if you are a crafter and you don't have a lot of spaces, this organizer can hold a lot of things. And the good thing about this is portable. You can actually put this on top of your desk or bring it with you, take it with you if you want to put this in the kitchen for a while to do some. It would be great for your kids' rooms, and if you are homeschooling your kids, this will be perfect for their arts and crafts items to organize their things, their beads, all their crafting items. Now I want to show you also, this is the perfect size for K-cups or the coffee pods, and I have done several projects also using this size to hold the coffee pods. But you can organize not just the coffee pods, they fit around 6 pieces of them perfectly in each compartment. And I'm showing you here that you can also organize your tea bags if you're a tea drinker or tea lover. And at the bottom portion, you can actually put a small jar there, and you can put your condiments or even your packets of sugars. And then you can use the 2 smaller jars like I've used here. These are upcycled or recycled jam jars, and I just placed some candies there I purchased from Dollar Tree back in winter. And also I'm showing you here that there is a portion where you can fit even the small jams or jelly jars that you can purchase if you're into those different flavors of jelly jars. Now I'm just showing you how big the space is by showing you these containers of tea bags that I got at Ross. So I have 2 tin boxes from Ross, and they have tea bags in them. And because I have expanded the bottom shelf, I can fit them. And then here are the sweets. These are the small candy canes or the mini candy canes from Dollar Tree that I put inside each jar. And this is the mini mustard jar. Again, if you have seen those jelly jars that are small, let me show you. This one fits perfectly. So those jelly jars that you see at hotels or restaurants that they serve you, it fits perfectly as well if you collect them or if you have supplies of them. So this one can also fit some seasoning bottles or spice jars. So this can organize your spices and your seasonings as well in your kitchen. Now I want to show you, you can also put a mug here like I'm doing. So of course I like this mug because it can keep the drink warmer. But I can also fit some of these cups that they sell at Dollar Tree. So I could fit easily 3 of them. So if you want to put this on your hot drink station, that would work as well. So I have this sugar jar or container and then a cup with stirrers. So I could set this up next to my single dispenser of coffee pod in a small nook in my kitchen, and this would be my small hot drinks organizer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and I was able to give you something to work on with those signs. I have another project coming up soon, and I will try to make more projects and upload also more projects because I know that I have been kind of inactive here because of the situation I'm having in my personal life right now. But I just want to make sure that I also produce some contents here for you because I know you all have been waiting. You've always been patient and being understanding. So I really appreciate your support. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. And don't forget to click that notification bell icon so that you will not miss any of my new uploads. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always being there, even though I am unable to. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. God bless you all. Bye-bye.